Wait for that thing to load up. See here. All right, we good. Here we go. Hey, what's going on? Beast Mode Brandon back again. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Thursday, we kick it off. Questions, get clarity, open discussion. Any question that you guys have, get them bad boys rolling, you know. What I like, I wore this shirt today, the faith, because if you don't have faith in your trading, then hey, you're doing something wrong. You know what I mean? So everything gets clarity. For anything asked, crazy
Equine sausage?
is something that doesn't get
No,
asked.
really good.
And so please mute yourself until we do open discussion if you don't mind. But then it comes back to why we do this, right? And you guys heard me say it before, and I will continue to say this. This is all recorded and streamed live. Hey, what's your why? You know, my why. I want us all to make more, to bless more. Whatever's in our hearts, we can give back to communities, charities, churches, family, and friends, making the world a better place for all. You know, and for me personally, look, I make six figures in the markets. I could trade by myself, but it's boring. You know what I mean? So I kind of live trade because a lot of people are all some of the experts, right? They might say, well, you should have, could have, would have, should have done this, did that. I would have done something different, but they fail to say that during the moment. So hey, you know we different in the mastermind. We do things live. We call trades out right when we're taking them, and we give you stuff that we're looking at ahead of time, and that's what makes us elite. So you guys are all expert traders. If you don't feel like that, you need to feel like that, right? Coming into trading, having people that are successful, you can be surrounded by them, but not only us, you get to leverage every single buddy or every person inside the mastermind, you know. And you know me, when you guys watch this, I make you guys accept challenges, you know. You guys often said challenge accepted. I've seen a couple of you guys posting up. I love it. I love it. I love it. But in the end, hey, we all going to thrive in 25, and that's what we're going to kick off today. So appreciate you guys for being here. Let's start it off. Anybody want to go first for asking the questions? You can throw it in the chat box, or you can come off the mic and ask right now. I did mute everybody, so you need to unmute yourself if you want to come on. So I see. All right, go ahead. You up? You first.
Man, just quick and short for a beginner, not for an instructor teaching a student, but for a student to take a chance of you telling us exactly like how to get in, uh, take a trail stop, and to get out. If you could
You
give us an example of that,
Hey, absolutely. So
appreciate it, bro.
that's a good one. That is a real good one, man. I wasn't expecting that, but hey, I'm just kidding. No, that's perfect. Oh, my bad. Let me reshare my screen. All right, so what I'm gonna do, and I think this would be beneficial for you and anybody else. I'm going to simulate, and obviously the market's closed, so I can't really do that. But I'm going to walk you through my specific process, how I do things on my side. All right. So
Gotcha,
I think
gotcha.
you should get value from that. All right.
Yeah,
First things first. In the mornings, I'll have my option chain loaded up. Right. So let's start off the basics. Where's the option chain from a basic standpoint? You come to Charles Schwab, right? And you come. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. You come to Charles Schwab and you're going to have one big chart. We call this the coloring book. You're going to come up here to the trade tab. And in this example, we're going to pull up SPY and we're going to pull SPY up, right? So coming into today, we can click this. And this is a great back test to also build confidence within yourself too, right? So here's your options. You got the calls on the left-hand side. When the share price rises in value, that's how we make money. On the right-hand side, you have puts, right? And when the share price drops, and you're in a put, that's how we can leverage and make money. What I like about stock options is from a beginner standpoint, you can legit leverage $100 or $200, and if the share price moves $1 in your favor, there's a good probability or a good chance that you can make 15 to 30%. When you put your money in a bank, it takes you a full, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It takes you 6 years to make 30%. That's if you're getting 5%, right? Some banks don't even offer that. All right. So with that being said, all right, you come in here and you get your options chain loaded up. What I do is I have a couple monitors, but if you don't, you could have something like this set up right here, right? Let me bring in this other chart and let me show it. And I'm just walking through the complete process. you have multiple charts right here. What this is called an active trader chart, and this is a regular chart. If you left click this, now this will be your chart. If you click active trader, you can actually buy right here from the DOM, right? If we were open, I can buy this. I have a trigger with bracket, so that means that the second I take a trade, it puts a take profit and a stop loss in my position, and it'll actually show up over here on the chart. So if I was to actually take this trade, right, and I'll show you an example. Let's say I got filled right here. I may have a bubble up here that's going to be just like this in the green. I may have a bubble down here like this on the red. This will be my sell, my stop, and this will be my take profit, right? As price is moving up, I can click on this, left click, pull this up, and just smack dab it right there. So when I say I'm going risk free, that's what I'm talking about, because if my entry's here and my stop loss is here, as price is moving up, I can then take my take profit and move it up even higher to right there. So then as price goes up, I just keep moving my stop with it manually. And that's one way to do it. So that's how I do things, right? Now, when do we take a trade? All right. We talk about techniques and strategies. If you're trading blindly, you in the wrong place. All of us inside the mastermind, we are not trading blindly. One of our strategies we talk about, and you see me post, green candle, green arrow. What do you guys see right here? Does everybody see that green candle, green arrow? I'm simply using Swingmaster Pro AI. Does everybody see that? Give me a yes or no in the box. Make sure you guys are paying attention right now. Put a yes or a no in the box. All right. I see the yeses coming in. So when this candle closes, we actually would take our call right here. Why? Because the candle's green. Previous structure would be down here. So if I'd measure this right there, and now's my stop out, I'd have to come up here, and this would be my take profit. Anywhere close to this line, like even like right here, I'd be going risk free. Because the thing about stock options is you have a max loss, but you don't have a max profit. So this loss right here could have been 30%, right? But right here at this line, it could be 30% in our favor. Up here, it's probably 60 or 70%, right? Because that went 603 all the way to 605. That's probably closer to 100%. Anyway, so if we would take this trade right when this candle closed, the next candle open, it'll be at 9:36 a.m. All right. You see, we follow the plan. Green candle, green arrow. Now, this is how you build confidence after hours if you can't trade live with me. At the share price right now is 603.66. That means that on the day trading side, you're probably taking the 604 calls or the 605 calls. So then you come back here to your option chain, right? And you say what did we say? Let me just double check. 603. All right. So we said the 604 or the 605s. Let's just click on the 605s. Right click this, right? And we're going to press copy. And now we can come back to this chart that we talked about, and you see how it's purple, right? So what I can do is I come back to this option chain, I right click this, I come down, and I can send it to that purple chart right there. So when I click on this, guess what's going to show on that chart? It's going to be a candlestick, but it's going to be the option price. This tells me exactly what it was. So when you guys tell me, Brandon, how comes you won on this trade and I lost? I can show you why I won on it, why I went risk free, and why I did what I did. So I can catch people, right, being greedy, right? So now let me explain. What did we say we take the trade? This one a 1 minute candlestick chart. At 9:36, this is the candle, this is the price right here. At 94 cents, right? So let's go back to our chart as if we were trading. And when we got close to our take profit, it'll be the close of this candle, 945 to 950. Anywhere in that area, we'd be looking to go risk free in a trail stop, right? So we go back to this chart, and I can tell you exactly what this thing would have done. So 945 to 950 is right here is 945, and 950 is up here. If we got filled right here when we said about 92 cents, right? That means one contract was $92. All right. At our first take profit, it is $1.40. Let me ask you this. If $92 turned into $140, that means you made almost $50. Give me a one in the box if you'd be happy with that, right? From an ROI standpoint, 50 divided by 92, that's 54% ROI when we're going risk-free. Now, if we put a 30% stop loss in, that little bit, meaning right here, let's go back to the chart. This little bit right here, when we took this trade right there, 30% stop was about right there. At this point, we are up 54%. 54%. What do you think we're worth way up there if we're at 54% right there? Well, if we held it to the true risk to reward of the one to one, right? Let's come back here to that price. Well, it actually went up here to $2.04. So if we bought in at 92, we know that 192 is 100, so we got made $110 off $92. So 110 divided by 92 entry, that's 119% ROI at the top. I'm good. Didn't I tell you that was 100% ROI winner? So now what you can do is you can accurately go back to your chart, take your setup and say, if I would have went risk-free right there, what's the ROI? If I would have went risk-free here, what's the ROI? I just shown you that right there. So what I do, I take the trade, right? I press this. This will populate as a market order. If I want 10 contracts, I'm taking 10. If you're new, press one contract and change it from limit to market because the spread is real tight. When you press confirm and send, a box will pop up. You go like that, press send. Now you're in the trade. You hear dink dink. Over here, you're going to see a POS. I immediately, right? Immediately right click it and I create a closing order. So then my box is red. How many contracts that I would have sold, right? Nope, you don't got to change good till close because when you market order in, Kimmy, it's going to fill you right here, right now. And this is just for the day trading side, remember. So then when we go to sell it, right, we're not clicking it yet. We're getting it ready and prepped. If you did 10 like I just did, you come right over here and you can go to trail stop and put a 10-cent trail in, press confirm and send, and keep this box open right here. You're one click away from pressing send. Now, what you do is you watch your chart and you see, well, if price is here, went against me, it's coming up, it's coming up. Oh my goodness, I'm up 20 or 30% right now. Put your trail stop in. Guess what? You just got a risk-free trade. And that's how I do it, right? From a basic standpoint. A more advanced, which I do it this way as well. You can have your order here, and you can put your stops in, and you can put a dollar. And I would change these. I would do like 40 cents as a stop loss and a dollar take profit. If I press buy market, right, it's just not going to do it right there. It gets everything ready. And then right out the gate, if I would do this, it'd fill me here. It'd put my stop loss right down there. And it will take my take profit way up there. It doesn't mean I'm waiting for it to hit my take profit because as price goes up, I'm taking my stop loss and moving it up into profits and I'm letting it go. And that right there is my exact process of how I day trade stock options, right? Now remember this real quick before I believe I answered your question. When you trade stock options, remember if your stop loss is here and or I'm sorry, if your entry is here and your stop loss is here and you take profits right there, that's not a risk to reward of 1-to-1. That's actually a risk to reward of 2-to-1. But in the options world, that is a risk of reward to 1-to-1. Now, if you're trading futures, you got to be a little bit more careful because if this is your stop out in futures and that's your entry, since it's a fixed number, you actually have to hold this trade to up here. Thus being my love for stock options, and I think stock options is way easier from a risk management standpoint to get involved with. There's just a little bit of mindset to get through the option change and what to take. So you remember these three rules right here. The bid and ask needs to be 20% or less. The delta needs to be 19 cents or higher, and the open interest needs to be 100 or more to ensure that you have liquidity. If you're trading SPY, you do not have to worry about any of that because there's thousands and thousands of people that trade SPY. Any of the ETFs and the blue chip stocks that we trade every day, you don't have to worry about that. So, who's the gentleman that asked that question? Can you come back on the mic real quick?
Yes, sir.
Does that answer your question from a beginner standpoint of my process of how I day trade?
Yes, sir. There's like one question. You mind texting the last three details in the chat?
All right. So I mean, we pinned it in
I
the
got you. Go
WhatsApp.
ahead.
So if you take your bid and you divide it by your ask, just make sure it's 20% or less. When it's like when and this is today's expired, so we'd be trading tomorrow's. When they're like this, you don't have to worry about it because look, it's 115 to 118. The reason we have a rule is because if the bid was 115 and the ask was $2, right? If you market order in, it's going to fill you at $2. If you want to go to dinner for me, or say you want to go to lunch, I'm selling out. and you market order out, it's going to sell you out at 115. You just took a unnecessary loss of 85 cents. With that being said, when you trade liquid things, you don't have to worry about that because look how tight it is, 115 to 118, 208 to 213, 52 to 54. You don't have to worry about that. As far as open interest, you don't got to worry about that either because it's way above 100. It's thousands. And your delta, if you have a smaller account or you go out of the money, this is geared more towards swing trading, but you can use your 19-cent delta rule. So the cheapest I would go is I'd buy one contract for 54 dollars and the delta is 26 cents. All right. So yes, technically the bid and ask, the difference is the spread, but from a simple standpoint, you just divide them and you roll with it. So does that answer your question, sir? Those three things right there?
Yes, sir, it does. Yep, I appreciate it, Coach B.
Yep, I appreciate that. That was a great question. Great kickoff. All right, Hillary, you up.
Yeah, I have a question. How do you as a day trader quickly identify a chop market and what do you do when you trade at 15-minute intervals?
All right. That is a great question. So me, I trade my day trading plan, and the truth is, nobody knows if it's going to be a choppy market or a trending market because if we would know that, you would see me own 100 100 apartment complexes. You follow me? Now, there is cues and little tricks that I personally have. And if I tell you I'd have to get rid of you, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you right now. There is little tricks that I personally use that will determine if I'm going to potentially hold the trade for a little bit longer on some days versus other days I'm not going to. So once again, I have no idea each day what the market's going to do. But first and foremost, I trade the same setup and the same pattern day in and day out, right? So how do I determine that? First is number one, I come into the market and I look right up here and I have mine. So I see all four major futures. The YM is the Dow Jones, the NQ is the Nasdaq futures, the ES is the S&P 500, the RTY is the Russell 2000, and I also have the VIX right here, right? So if all of my markets are all color coded into the green right here, I would say we're more likely to trend, right? One way or another because there's a lot of juice in the markets. Now, if this says positive 133 and this says negative $100, to me, that color coordination is not in sync. So when three out of the four markets are in sync, like right now, then to me, I would it's more likely that the market may trend a little bit more than solely taking profits sooner. All right. That's one trick. Another trick I have is I'll simply come to SPY, right? And if I'm trading SPY or any instrument you want, come to the day, right? And you can kind of see this right here. A lot of times you want to you want to take advantage of these huge days. Why? Because we it's easier to make money. Typically what happens is you have a large day and the next couple days, like right here and right here, are typically going to be a little bit more flat, right? I know this from experience. I've been looking at the markets for since 2016 when I started. So I know that typically it takes a lot out of the market to have a large candle like this. And typically you're not going to have 2 or 3 days like this in a row. Typically, you have something like this where you have 1, 2, 3 small days, and then you have an expanding day or two, right? Then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expand or 5 consolidating days, small days. Then you have a large one. So knowing that, right? If I'd come into the market and I see, look, we had a large day here, large day here. Guess what? We had two choppy days. So I know in the next 1, 2, or 3 days, from a probability standpoint, I know that we are coming to a more trending day sooner or later because just off my visual right here. Look, inside, large day, smaller day, large day, small day, large day, consolidating, large day, small day, small day, large day, small day. So I always take these small days, and I know the next couple days, one of those days is going to be the trending day. Now, with that being said, right, since we never know if it's going to be a trending day or a A chop day, the reason I succeed in a trending market and a choppy market is simply this right here. I trade the same exact way every single day. I don't care if it's a trending day or a chop day because in a chop day, I'll make my money right before it reverses, and in a trending day, I sell out too soon all the time. But I'm consistently green, and in the end, I want to be green in the market. So if I was trading SPY, right? If I was trading SPY and I'll use this one right here. All right, let me blow up my screen, and we use Trendbox Pro. Let's put a let's put SPY on this, right? Guess what? If I trade the same every single day and I follow a plan and I took a ceiling break right there and it hit target, there's one winning trade in a day. And this is a lot of people today didn't make money, which I don't understand how, but they don't have the tools that we do, right? Next day, we broke the ceiling right here, right? And that's a loser. Nothing you could do. If you took the floor break, you ended up getting a grand slam, but now you 1-1, right? We're trading the same exact plan. Third day, you take a floor break, got close to our target. You're now 2 green days, 1 red day. Here's a day where it broke, it came against us, and the second we broke this, like we said, we go risk free on this, even though it didn't hit our purple line because that's our rule. Now we got 3 green days and 1 red day. This one hit target. 4 green days, 1 red day. This one broke. 5 green days, 1 red day. This one broke. 6 green days, 1 red day. That's one technique we have. Guess what? You'd be profitable and without even guessing if the market's going to trend or not. All right, that's one way. The second way you'll see me post on Facebook. Since we're looking at a SPY, I do the green candle, green arrow. Right, same thing. I'm looking at the trend. You look at yesterday. What colors are candles? This ended up being a nice trend day. This was chop right there, but guess what? If you use the 5 minute for the trend and go down to the 2 minute like I do for my entries, let's see what happened yesterday and let's see all the setups we got. All right. Guess what? We got one red arrow, red candle. Here's your entry. Here's your stop. Did you ever get stopped out of this trade? No, we didn't. Me, I got stopped out of that right there. Here's another entry. Red candle. Here's my stop out. Here's my entry. Here will be my take profit. Guess what? There's another winning trade. All right. Over here, these green candles, I'm sitting on the sidelines. If I'm looking for another trade, guess what? We transition to a red candle. There's an entry. If you want to wait for a pullback, you could have gotten in a trade right there and got stopped out for a small loss. You could have taken this one, stop out, winner. This one right here, winner. And then we go green at the end of the day. If you traded all day long. Then you come into today and we were actually choppy, right? It was choppy in the morning. Same thing. Let's see what today was. My candles were green all the way until 10:50. So same thing. Come back here to the 2 minute time frame, all the way until 10:50. Guess what? I knew that we got a green arrow right there. We gapped up. I know some people took that trade, and nothing you could do. We pulled back. Some people took that trade. Here's your stop. You got stopped out. Then our candles turned red, right? On the 5 minute, because we just said that. And they stayed red up until 10:55. All right. So now we got this candle as a stop out. There's a winner. And we got this candle, and here's your stop out. There's the winner. This isn't enough of a pullback for me. This is, but at this time, the 5 minute turned green, and we were pretty much green for the rest of the day. So now I flip. Now I'm waiting for that green candle, green arrow. I don't get any trades right here, unfortunately. Right? If I take the color change, I would have gotten in right there. There's your stop. There's a winner. Huge pullback. Now our candles are red. I wouldn't take that. Here, I would take this one, stop out. Price floats on up. Here's another entry. Price floats on up. And that's how I trade. The same way every single day, whether it's choppy or trendy. When it's trendy, this works beautiful. When it's choppy, you got to wait and be a stickler for your signals. But guess what? I just shown you 2 ways that you can stay consistent with and making money. And that's how I navigate a trend day or a chop day. Hillary, does that confirm your question or help you out a little bit?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Good question.
Your candles are on aggressive, right? I mean, your arrows.
Yes, sir. But I like to know when all the arrows are there, so I keep mine on aggressive. If you don't like that, keep them on conservative. You know what I mean?
Hey Brandon, how do we get access to Swing Master Pro products?
So how long you been in the mastermind for?
Well, I just returned home. I'm the prodigal child.
Okay.
Yes, I just got back like what? I've been back what like 2 months now?
Okay, got you. So if you went through the trade school and everything like that, and you feel
Yeah.
this will benefit you, then just reach out, send Willette your username for TradingView, or send it to me, and I'll get you unlocked.
Okay.
Just make sure you watch the training videos because I mean you got to understand what you're doing. I don't want you to come in blindly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm definitely gonna go all the way and demo, back test, do all that stuff before I even, mess with any of this. But I definitely want to have it.
Hey, absolutely, I got you. Say no more.
Hey, Brendan.
Brandon, can you hear
All
me?
right, one at a time. Who going first?
I'm not sure. The other person can go first. This is Linda. The other person can go first.
Thank you,
Excellent, go
Linda.
ahead.
You're welcome.
Brandon, this is Roz. I just had a quick question. It's about staying in the money when placing an options trade. So I select my call or put, I choose market, I adjust my shares, I hit review, I hit send, then you got to wait for that order filled message. And sometimes after I do all those steps, my price is no longer in the money. Now it has slipped to out of the money. What advice do you have to keep my trade price in the money?
All right. So first and foremost, if you are market ordering into your trades, they should be filling in a couple seconds.
Hmm.
So I'm not believing you, but I'm saying from my experience when I market order, it typically fills me unless you're trading something that doesn't have open interest, and then it's going to take a while. But if you're trading like SPY and the blue chip stocks that we trade, like Tesla, Amazon, Google, you'll never have a problem. You'll never have a problem entering it on a market order. Now, if if your order goes from in the money out of the money, to me, that's not that big of a deal because when I day trade, I don't even take in the money contracts. I take at the money contracts. And in the end, it doesn't matter whether you're in the money, at the money, or out of the money, as long as you respect that 19-cent delta rule. Once that share price goes in your favor, you're going to be in a positive ROI, regardless of any of them. The only reason why I would go into money is if I was trading something that was super super cheap, like Ford or something like that, where at the money contracts are like 20 or 30 cents. Then I would go into money. And trading Ford and some of those cheaper stocks might not have the amount of open interest that SPY and other ones do, which could cause a potential delay in getting filled on a market order. But if your open interest is 100 or more on your option, you should have no problem. But there is sometimes, like let me pull something up just so you can see from a visual standpoint. See, it's probably look. I'm probably not gonna be able to find one now, but I'll do my best. Let's see here. None of those, all those are tight. Let me go out of the money here. They're all a lot there. There's a lot. All right, let me try to find a different one. Let me pick like Neo or something. All right, right here's a perfect example right here. All right, let's say we were day trading, right? And you go in the money right here. You see your open interest, because this is our open interest column. If you market order into $3.50 and the open interest is zero, it might take all day long, or it might take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It might take a while to get filled. You follow me? But we have those rules in place because you should never be taking that contract anyway. You should go down one where it says 80, 8,400, right? Because you're going to get filled right away. All right. Now, if you come out of the money and you say, well, Brandon, I want to put $54 in this trade, and there's only seven open interest. Once again, that doesn't follow the rules per se for me, and I wouldn't want you to trade that for yourself because there's another example of why you might not get filled. And if you do get filled, you're gonna have trouble exiting the position. Versus if you find one of those contracts that have tons of open interest, you'll never have to experience that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yep, yep. So make sure you just keep an eye on that, and I think you're gonna be just fine.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, not a problem. Good question. All right, Linda.
All right. So, being a beginner, so it looks like you have Charles Schwab, Thinkorswim, and TradingView. You have three screens that you're using?
I actually have five, but I mean, yeah.
Okay. So, you have connected your Thinkorswim to TradingView? Is that how
No,
you were able to go in?
no.
Okay.
So I use TradingView. All right. All right, let me give you a quick little breakdown. When I first started back in 2016 or 2017, I actually have E-Trade. Then I got sold on the Thinkorswim platform because you were able to use custom indicators, right? Thus being what you see on my screen right now. We call it the coloring book. So they got me switched over to Thinkorswim. Um, so now I have the live trade room where we live trade every single day, and I've had people that's been with me since 2019, 2020. What's that tell you? We good at what we do. They like the Thinkorswim layout. For all the new folks that come in from 2020 and later, what I did was I took all these indicators and put them into a snowball, and that's what Swingmaster Pro AI is, and that's why it's so powerful. So then you come to Trading View. So now everybody, right? Everybody can use Swingmaster Pro AI, and it's way more simplified, but it still has the power of all those other tools. So if you struggle with the trend, on Tuesday we went over the trend with Swingmaster Pro. If you missed it, highly recommend watching it. Check it out. Price goes up, it comes back down. Price goes up, comes down, goes up, comes back down, goes up. Guess what happens when it takes that out? Why does our candles turn red? Because the trend is broken. I color coded and built this with other things to tell us what the trend is doing, right? And that's why Swingmaster Pro is very, very effective. So now what I do, and I tell you guys, you can trade off your thinker or you can trade off your trading view chart, which I recommend if you use Swingmaster Pro AI. So that means on the brokerage side, you only need to have the trade tab up, and you can minimize this, and you could do something just like this right here. You could actually take this. Let me move myself out of the way. I'm always in the way. Detach it, right? Now you have your option chain on a new window. You can shrink this all the way down to right here where you still have your calls and puts on either side. So then what you can do is you trade, and this can all be done on one screen. You come to your trading view chart, and now you bring over that window we just detached, and now guess what? I can watch the candles as they're forming, and I can have my order ready to rock and roll. So if I'm trading SPY and I know the money's around 604, I'm on Neo right now. Let me go back to SPY. I can have this locked and loaded right here, and I could say, well, I'm looking at the 604 calls. I'm going to get this ready, or the 605, 606, and I'm going to press this, and I'm going to get this ready right now and change it from limit to market. And hold on. All right, so maybe make this a little bit bigger here so I can click on it. Why didn't it let me change? Oh yeah, right here. My bad. Wrong one. You can change this limit to market, right? And now you can now you're one click away. So you're waiting for your green candle, green arrow. Oh, what do we have right there? Well, guess what? You already have your options chain right here. You press confirm and send. Now you're in the trade, and you know right there. As you watch it, in 2, 4, 6 minutes, you get to go risk free. This little move does not look like much, but 604.31 to 605, that right there is an easy 15 to 25% ROI. That is enough to go risk free. You follow me? So you don't need
So
it.
going, so
You don't
going
need-
risk free is putting in a trail stop. That's what going.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
and you're doing that on Thinkorswim.
Yep.
Okay.
And I have videos that you can see me execute trail stops in a live market if you need the visual.
Because I find that when you go back and look at it like today, it's not, it looks different when things are moving. So sometimes I record and I go back and look at market open to see what happened with the candles and everything, just
Sure.
because it's different. It's easier to see it when you're looking in retrospect. So really, I only need the Thinkorswim to execute and
Yep.
then actually do
Yep. I'm listening.
right. Okay. And so I don't have to have the Charles Schwab one open.
Well, Charles Schwab and Thinkorswim are the same thing. It's the same company.
Oh, I thought there was something that was, oh, I thought you had a third screen. Okay.
Nope.
All right.
So Charles Schwab is Thinkorswim because they own it now. So
Okay.
it's just a trading platform inside of Charles
Platform. Now, did you say you're setting up brackets in here too?
Schwab. Yeah, you can do that. Are you familiar with like futures or no?
I am. And the way that you do this is the way I do with the futures. I have trading view to the left, and then I have
Okay, so
where I'm
same thing.
placing my futures trade on the right.
Same thing for the options. So you can get your chart loaded up right here, and we can make this smaller. And you can say, well, if I know that my trend is bullish, I'm going to be looking for calls, Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
And I could say, well, when I take the contract, because I know, right? I know that I'm going to want to risk, and this is the option contract. I color code it down here to purple. So if I'm looking at this trade and I know I'm potentially bullish, and I know the share price is 603, I know that I'm going to come here into my options chain, right? Or you have your floating one if you like to have all these different screens, and you can say, well, I'm looking at the 606 calls or the 605 or the 604s. I'm going to right click it and I'm going to send it to that purple chart. So now look what happens. When I send it to that purple chart, right? Guess what shows up? This exact contract of the option premium itself. So not saying you're going to do this, but when you tell me, Brandon, I took the trade with you and I lost, I'm going to say, all right, well, I entered here at 240 and I got out at $3. You mean to tell me that you entered it with me, right? I'm just using you as an example. I'm not saying you're going to do this,
Oh,
so
I understand.
don't take offense.
I'm
So
not.
then it goes all the way up here to something 360. Right there is 50% ROI, and then it comes back down here and you take a loss. So you say, Brandon, I traded with you. I lost. How'd you win? I'm going to say, all right. Well, I got stopped out for 25% ROI. There was 50% ROI, and then it came back down. And you ended up taking a 10% loss. What happened? Oh, well, Brandon, I wanted 100%. Ah, see, that's the difference. The difference is I just want to be consistently profitable. I can't control how far the market goes up. And today, the market didn't trend, so you're not going to get those huge grand slams. But can we get pieces of them? Absolutely. So when you can put in a bracket order, you can take this template, right? You can take let me move myself again, take this template and say trigger with bracket. So when you click on this, you're going to have two things. You're going to have a positive number and a negative number. The negative number is stop. That's self-explanatory. And the limit is your take profit. Just like futures, how you can put a bracket order in, you could do the same thing for options. So if we took this trade at $3.38, you're not going to have a 10 point or a 10-cent stop loss or a 10-cent take profit. But realistically, you might have a 50-cent stop loss and a dollar take profit. So when you take this trade and get filled right here, your stop loss would be right there and your take profit would be way up there. Any given time, you can move your stop loss as price goes up. I say I'm going risk free. All I'm doing is I'm clicking my trail stop or I'm moving my stop loss and putting it right here above my entry. And then this is how you can let a runner go. As it expands to the upside, guess what? I'm then moving my stop loss up with it manually. All right, guys, bummer. I got stopped out right there. You know what we say? Bummer, green bag, but that's a good situation to be in. Don't you agree?
So you're able to drag that stop loss on the chart, actually
Yes,
move it
ma'am.
up.
Right on the chart.
Okay. Do you have a video going over how to do all this with Thinkorswim, or do I just need to look at YouTube University?
I do have a video. So if you go to my channel right here, Beast Mode Trading, you go to videos. I got over 400 videos. You can scroll all the way down here. Um, 5 ways trading on the Dom can make you rich. I walked through this, did this class 3 months ago. If you keep scrolling down lower, I got other videos where it says buying a stock option and using it every single day. These videos are different. But I can pinpoint you to right here. How to buy a stock option for beginners. 853 views. I did this with someone right there.
Okay, thank you.
I got tons of content. You tell me what you want, I'll tell you to the right video.
And can I get the floor ceiling indicator?
Yes. Shoot me a
I've asked a few times. How should I reach out?
just do WhatsApp. I'll unlock you as soon as we get off the call.
Thank you.
Yep. And if I don't respond, just tag me again. You will not take offense. I don't take offense at things like that. You know what I mean?
All right. Okay.
You could say I'm mean, happy, big, small, triangle, square. Hey, that's fine. That's your opinion. You ain't stopping my shine, you know?
Thank you.
Yep. Hey, appreciate you. All right, who's next? Tabby, do you have a question? I've seen you keep coming on and off. Miss Tabitha? All right. Antonio, you up?
Yes,
Oh, I
sir.
didn't realize I was on. I'm sorry. No,
Now
I
you
don't have a
good.
question.
You
so
do or
let-
you don't? Okay, you good. All right, Antonio, you up, boss.
so the stop loss. So you actually went to a couple other things. Now I got a couple other questions, but the stop loss. So when you put the stop limit in place, that let's say $1.50, whatever. Let's say my strike price on the SPY call is a 605. Let's say I want to when it comes up and it says like $1 or whatever when I go to set the stop limit, am I putting that 50 cent in or that dollar in? Is it just say okay, if it drops $1 to 604, let's say I want to put my stop loss at 603. Would I put like a $2 stop there?
All right, so now listen, right? I don't want to confuse you, and I think this is why you're getting confused, right? Which is it's a good point, good question. So when you put these stop loss and take profits in, that $1.50 has nothing to do with the option strike you take. It has 100% to do with the actual option price contract. So if you bought a contract for $3, your stop loss would be $2.50, and your take profit would be $4. If you bought a contract for $100, your stop loss will be at 50 cents and your take profit will be at $2. You follow me?
No, I'm not gonna lie and say I do. I mean,
Okay.
I kind of
All
makes
right, so
sense.
now listen, hold on a second, right? Let's go to the option chain real quick. Well, we look at SPY, right? It doesn't matter, all right? It does not matter whether you take the 606 call, the 604 call, or the 600 call. Why? Because if you have the bracket order set up on this way, like the DOM, and you have your limit stop, your take profit at $1, all that's saying is that whatever contract value you bought at $6.56, your take profit will be 661. Down here, it'll be 370 because you bought it at 270. Down here, it'll be 263 instead of 163. So
Oh, okay.
it has everything to do with the price of the contract that you bought. Now with the stop loss, 50 cents would be 50 cents lower than what you bought it for. At
44.
560, 270, it would be at 220. 163, it'd be at 113. So it has everything to do with the option premium price itself and has nothing to do with the strike price.
Boom, that did it. Okay. And because I was going off of the strike price,
Yep, yep,
and when it comes up with the, let's say it might pop up in default like $1.50 when it pops up $1.63, and I don't know how to set it because I'm looking for like, oh well, I'm looking at for a 601 or 602 for me to put a stop loss and a
yep.
605 or 606 to set my take profit, but it's only in it's in different increments. So I'm like, I don't understand that.
But you don't got to understand it from that state. You overcomplicating it, and it
I
don't got to
did.
be that way.
I admit. And also
Yeah.
something else. So that answers that question. What I was gonna ask you, so you trade solely when you execute trades, are you using Charles Schwab or Thinkorswim? Like I know they're together, I know how they work, but I see that you kind of resort to using Charles Schwab more than just using the Thinkorswim platform, even though when you go to Charles Schwab, it's integrated in there like that.
Yeah, so all right, so when you go to charlesschwab.com, you have two options. You could trade off of Charles Schwab's trading platform on the desktop, or since they bought TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim, Thinkorswim is also an alternative trading platform inside of Charles Schwab. So you can do I don't I think it's called like Option Seek or some it's something it's something I don't know the name but I use Thinkorswim Charles Schwab because all my tools and everything is already synced to this, and I understand how to trade Thinkorswim. It's the same thing. It's just it's not as advanced as the Thinkorswim side. So I trade my day trading stock options in TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim, or I'm sorry, Charles Schwab Thinkorswim, and not the options hawk inside of Charles Schwab. You could do either or. I'm just so used to this. I'm not changing something that's not broke. You know what I mean?
Right. And so you're trading off a desktop versus off of mobile.
Um, correct and incorrect. I do both already.
Okay.
So my thing is this. I trade futures and stock options at the same time, right? So when I trade futures, I always have my stops and take profits put in place. But when I trade stock options, sometimes, right? Sometimes I don't use this active trader. I'll use like I'll enter the position and then from my phone, I'll get ready to close it out because I multitask. I got 15, 20, 30, 40 people that come live trading with me. So I'm talking to you guys, making sure you guys have good trading setups and ideas while trading my futures account, while trying to navigate my options account. So I'm doing all this stuff, right? So it's really about whatever you feel is easier. I'm so quick and fast. I could trade a mobile where I could buy a contract and sell it in about 5 or 6 seconds right from my phone.
Now, not to cut you off, but the thing is, this is how I do it. I'm straight out of Thinkorswim. I go straight out of Thinkorswim, Charles Schwab. That's why I execute my trades and everything. Then I use my trading view chart to monitor where I'm at entry and exit and stuff like that. So what you just showed me, I don't know if you had the Charles Schwab screen up where you just wouldn't minimize when you went and minimize the screen and you drug it on over to your to your trading view chart, to where now I got the whole options contract, the whole option chain and everything set up right here, while I still have my trading view chart set up right here, to where versus me being like, okay, I got my computer open with my trading view and watching it like this, and then I got my phone in my hand executing my trades, which I could do it all on my computer. If that was the case, that I knew I could do that, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't know that you could take that little window and
Bro,
slide it in there like
that
that
makes
right there.
complete sense. So look at my Thinkorswim right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 9 windows open.
Wow.
So
Okay.
on another screen, this is some of my secret sauce now. On another screen, I got this thing, and I can determine, right, what is moving and what's not off my watch list. And that's how we get our AI stocks every single day. So that's a little bit of heat real quick. I got to take that back off, but that's the thing. On one screen, I got my watch list with my custom trending tools in there, so I can visually pick which ones are trending and which ones are not trending. So I have a saying: leaders lead and laggers lag. So if a leader's leading, I'm looking for call setups and green candle, green arrow. If laggers lag, that means they pushing down. I'm looking for red candles, red arrows. You follow me? So for me,
Right.
I have that set up on one screen. I got the Zoom room that people see on another screen. I got this set up right here for people that want to trade Swing Master Pro live. And every morning, if you didn't know this, you're going to know it right now. You're going to see me manually put these yellow arrows on the charts where I'm taking the trades. So I can't tell you when to take the trade, but I can share with you a good trading setup, and just know I trade good trading setups. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, I don't even think, like, as far as my execution on the trades is the problem. It's me having to be able to try to toggle between two screens, or having to look up and down, or trying to trade on the fly. It's like, it's kind of hard for me to do that when, if I'm doing straight mobile, if I'm not around my computer, I gotta go back and forth from my trading view chart back to my Thinkorswim, back to my
Not
trading
no
view
more,
chart.
bro. We just eliminated that.
Yeah, I didn't know that you can do that, man. See, that's dope.
Hey, see what happens when you come to class. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike says.
Straight up, I appreciate it, man. Thanks again.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. You good? Anybody else have any questions? Or you got any more, Antonio? Or are you good?
I got more, but I'll leave it open for somebody else because he just opened up so many more questions. But it's all good. Like, I got a good understanding of what the how to set the stops and stuff, because I know how to do the trail stop. The only thing that really confuses me with the trail stop is whatever position or whatever instrument that I'm trading, how to configure it to, like, okay, do I want to set a 50-cent trail? Do I want to set a dollar trail, a 10-cent trail? But I also took from what you told me before. It's like, if you take 30%, are you okay with that? Heck yeah, I'm good with the 30% because my account is happy. So I'm all right with taking a 10-cent trail where I won't have a 50-cent trail where my 30% goes down to 10, 15%. I mean, I left money on the table. So
Absolutely.
I understand
Absolutely.
that part. So yeah, we good though. We good, good. I appreciate it.
Hey, absolutely. So, and that's why you guys ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Awesome.
Hey, Brandon, I do have a question.
Go
Um,
ahead.
what can you go over your power hour trading strategy?
How do you know about that? Just curious.
Well, I started in DCG back in like 2021, so I remember us trading power hour, but I don't quite remember the strategy. And it was a question that popped up today. I asked in the chat in WhatsApp, So someone was like, "Well, why don't you ask Brandon about his strategy?"
Gotcha.
I had to
So
tap you on your shoulder real quick.
yeah, gotcha. So all right. I mean, this is definitely, if you got, it's like, it's more of like a lotto type trade. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing that I put into a course or a class or anything like that. But what we do with the power hour, and like I said, it's super risky, but it's very easy to get 15 to 30% ROI pretty quickly. And we do things kind of on SPY where we risk something where it's something little where you could get a contract for like 30, 40 cents. I buy 10 of them, $300-400, and if I can get 150 $200 out of it real quick, I'm going to do that. So what I do is I come here to the 1 minute time frame, and this is SPY. So each one of these days is a different day, and I simply just do this right here. So I just pick a couple random days for you. So I use the Swing Master Pro candles, and at 3:55. I'll wait for me to get an arrow up or down. My last one at 3:55 was a down arrow, and since the contracts are about to be worthless, and you bought here 597, 597.92 down here to 597.36, that right there would be enough to get 15, 20, 30%, right? And you come in another day. And like I said, it's not really a strategy I like to share and teach with people. But like right here, you got an up arrow, candles are green. That's a nice push to the upside. Even right there, 602.71. It goes to 602.97. I would just be risk free real fast. And then you come to another day. At the end of the day, our candles are red. You got this red arrow right here. For us to do that, we would try to take a short. And right here is 955. You got your red arrow to take a short, and it goes from 606.54 down here to 606.22. You could have got out with some profits right there. It's crazy. And then right here, we had a green arrow at 955. Candles are green. Here's where you actually get a grand slam. You get 50, 100% real quick there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a strategy. I don't like to share it. But we do have some people that like to be a little bit aggressive with some of their winners. Here's another arrow to the upside, 55, and price just pushes up. It doesn't look like much, but 87 up here to 18, that's like 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? So like when you come to these contracts that are dirt cheap, right? And you look at something right here at the money, in the money, you're buying a contract for 38 cents, and if it moves 50 cents, you're making 100% ROI. Get what I'm saying? So it goes stupid fast, and it's not for a newer trader, and it's not for someone like, you can only do it if you made some money for the day and you wanted to get a little bit more lotto-ish. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's kind of what we do for the power hour trade.
Definitely was a refresher because I remember you explaining it that way, so it was good to hear it again.
Yep. So, like I
Okay.
said, I don't share it because I know people. You got to be real quick with it. Sometimes it happens in a minute or two. So you really got to be quick, and they move like this, like ding 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 ding, ding real fast. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I got one in the chat. Is the ATR important to understand with TSL? I'm assuming, Ed, you're saying TSL is in trail stop limit. So the ATR is just the average true range. All that tells me is if I come here to the daily chart, all that tells me is let me pull up my Thinkorswim real quick. I think I got the ATR on this one. Let me see. Yeah, ATR on this. So let's pull up a SPY. So the ATR right here, down here, it says $7.01. All that says to me is the average true range. It just means from the low, man, I'm in the way of myself again. From the low up to the high, you get about $7. Guess what happened today? That's a $7 move. So you use the ATR from the low to the high of the day for a potential move. Now, how's that help you in trading? Well, if we were trading SPY today, right, and we're day trading, and we know that we zoom out, right? We know that we zoom out. If we understand from a market structure standpoint, right, we go up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And we take this out. Now we start trending down. So from this high at 606, there's a good chance that ATR might move down here to about $6, right? Then once we take this out, we're trending up. If this is the low of the day, that's confirmed, and you take this buy right there, this buy, just know that there's a good probability about 80% of the time it's going to go up to that ATR because that's the average true range. And look where we hit. We hit that ATR to the cent and it sold off. So I'm saying the ATR plays a big part. It just shows you, it shows me how much gas is to the upside. So even though we were trending down, I have a couple things like, and we'll go over this Tuesday how to do trend lines. We have a nice trend line break. Price goes up, it broke right there, it came back down. This is a confirmed uptrend, 100% confirmed uptrend. That right there is a grand slam signal. So we're going to go over that maybe on Tuesday, or we might do the report. I'm not sure yet. But if you guys ever have ideas or anything that you want to talk about on a masterclass on a Tuesday, just shoot me a message and let me know. But I did have a couple people reach out about how to properly place the trend lines. And to me, the trend lines are the best way to capture the trend in sync of market structure. So the ATR is important to understand, but it has nothing to do with the trail stop limits for me or trail stops because I want to be consistently profitable. So if I get the ROI, I'm in a trail stop already. So hopefully that makes sense. How do we calculate the P&L numbers and where would you find them on a chart showing your trade? So the P&L numbers is in your positions tab. So you don't know that. However, when you take an options trade, right, inside of this, you know when you got filled for it. So if you go to the I don't have any open positions, I'd show you in this account. You go the monitor and go to your positions. You can see right there if it drops down activity and positions, you click on that, there will be a positions button and it'll show you what it is. If you're trading from an options chart, it's going to show you right here where you entered the trade. So if you're in right here, well, this is not the option price. All right, let me show you real quick. So I'm a visual guy. Let's just put this back onto the purple chart. If we took that same exact trade and you use this chart and you don't got to go into your positions tab and you entered the trade right here, over here, this is going to be highlighted yellow. And then also on the chart here, it's going to say yellow. So you know that your position is at $3.68. As these candles push up, there's $4, $4.20, $4.40, $4.60, $500. That's how you know how much your contract's in profit or not. So you can use the positions tab, or you can use what we call a spark chart or an options active trader chart. So hopefully that answers your question. Antonio, Mike made a trail stop workbook. Yeah, so if you need help with the trail stops, Mike did bless us with a trail stop workbook. Trail stops to me are universal because it all depends on the amount of the contract. If you bought a contract for 50 cents and your take profit 60, you're not going to put a 30-cent trail stop in, you might put a 5 cent in. If your contract is $5 and it goes up to $6, you're not going to put a 5 or 10-cent trail stop in, you might put a 50-cent trail stop in. You know what I mean? So it's universal with how much that option premium is. Maybe in 6 months I'll try that. um, all right. The AI swing trades are the iron condors, and do we enter the trade right when you put it in chat or wait to set it after the market? So right when I alert them, Greg, you take that trade, boss. You take that trade. So you got 10, 12 minutes every single day to take that trade. You know what time they go out, and hey, if you like that method, like my account does, then you're gonna follow it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I was about 10 seconds too late entering that one today.
Oh
Damn.
man, that's all good. So if you do miss it, you could take it tomorrow if the premium is still good. If it's not, then just skip it and wait for the next one.
Right. Jeez.
So I always set my alert at the same time every day, so I don't ever forget it. So make sure you guys do that as well.
I did my first live trade yesterday with your Iron Condor, and hey, my first live trade was profitable. Thank you, Brandon.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love to hear it.
Yeah, put me in a right good mood.
There you go. Hey, we coming over to your house for dinner, bro.
That's a long way to go, brother. But you're most welcome.
Yep. So hopefully that answered your question, Greg. For you.
So these AI swings trades that you put in the chat, for instance, like the one that you put in the chat for today, you have tomorrow's date on it.
That's
So,
yep.
So when we go in to set this up, we're looking for the January 31st strike.
Yes,
but we're supposed to do it for today
Yep.
and just let it expire
Yep.
within the next 45 minutes.
So all right. So when you trade them, you have to have a margin account, right? And if you have a margin account and you're underneath $25,000, you can get hit with the pattern day trading rule. So if you the way to bypass that is if you take them today for tomorrow's expiration, you're technically swing trading it, so you're not hit with that day trading one. Versus if you take it tomorrow and close it out tomorrow, that's one trade. You can only do that 3 times in a 5 day cycle, or they'll flag you.
Okay.
That's why we do that.
Okay. Because I did one that you put in earlier in the weekend. It closed my trade out at the end of the day, but I
Yeah,
must
so they expire. I let them expire. So you either get you either going to win or lose. That's it.
no. What I mean is, you sent it out. I think it was on Monday, and I set the trade up on Monday, and at the end, when the market closed on Monday, it took me out of the trade. So I must have not set it up correctly. Is what
Yeah, yeah. Make sure you put in the same exact things that I take. You know what I mean?
okay, okay. But can we wait until the next day to place the trade, or would that be too late?
It's a universal question because some days if the market opens flat, we're all going to
Mhm.
be in profit already. So I would not do it. When days that the market gaps up one way or another, and the premium is still there, then I would do it. So say for instance, if I do one on Google and the day before I leverage $500 and my premium is $3, that means I'm making $300 to lose 200 on that specific trade. If the next morning I'm going to make $100 to lose $400, that's not wise to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Got you.
Now, if you take the next day and it says you can now make $450 to lose 50, I would take that trade 10 out of 10 times. That's why it's universal. You follow me?
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yep,
okay.
yep. You got any other questions?
That's the one that I was waiting to ask earlier today. I've been looking at the XSP tickers and taking trades on those, and I've been, successful these last couple trades. So, as long as we in the green, that's all I'm looking for.
Don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Follow the leader, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Nice. Awesome. Love to hear it. Antonio, what's up? Yeah,
Hey,
go ahead. You breaking up, boss.
one more question. So, do you recommend or do not recommend? You know what? It's a bad service over here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So, question: do you recommend or do you not recommend? Let's say for a person who know that they want to, I guess, risk $50, $60 on some of these contracts because you can get out of the money contracts a lot cheaper. Now, if you analyze the market, if you look at the chart and you look at the market movement, basically, and you can kind of say, okay, well, like you say, you had 3 days of consolidation. You're gonna get a hard move one of these days. All right, well, I look today now, everything look bullish. Let's say if I'm trading QQQ and I'm looking at like a 530 call and the price is at 525, that $5 move that you might be expecting, it might happen or it might not happen, but the contract might cost me $50. Cause I did this one time, man, and it was like the most percentage I ever gained off of one of these. But I kind of feel like it might be like gambling. But do you recommend being able to do that or not? Like taking the kind of farther out of the money strikes because of you like not trying to predict the market, but you're kind of going off a market structure of what's going to happen to where, all right, well, if we had a hard fall, then I think we might pull back up to that, I guess, the 630 mark. You know what I mean? I don't know if this makes sense. Like,
Now, so let me tell you something. It makes sense. But let me ask this real quick, Dan, and you could ask your question real quick because I know you got to leave. It makes sense, but this is the thing. You don't ever want to get into a habit of trading like that, in my opinion, because then when you realize you're going out of the money getting those cheap contracts, to me, it leads to poor trading. What do I want to say? Poor
Bad habits,
trading.
basically.
It kind of makes you trade differently. And the what I want to say. I don't know how I want to say it. All right, so when you do that, right? I would do that, but only with a plan. And every day we do that with the SPX AI lottos. We take more out the money contracts and take the targets that the AI lotto is telling us to do. And we have a very high probability to get a nice win. Now, knowing that, like what you said, you can stack more things in your favor and say, since we've been consolidating, um, I think we have a more higher probability to get it today or tomorrow. You could try it, but don't get into a habit of doing trades like that, because if you did that, if that example where it had to move $5, even if it moved $1 or $2, if you're going to do that, which you can, you still need to be protected and go risk free, in my opinion, because now you're trying to play more lotto-ish or more gamble-ish, and
Exactly.
you want to protect yourself and not shoot for that whole $5 move. And if you get it, hey, you're darn right, you might get 6, 7, 800%, and it does happen. It happens once a week. But what I'm getting at is you could lose 4 days in a row and take your whole mindset and whack it up against a wall, and now you're going to be fearful to take trades that you know that work, looking for that grand slam. So I had someone do this before where they got a 1,200% ROI on SPX. Well, guess what? They wanted that every single day, and they end up losing 8 or 9 days in a row. So then they're losing 100% 9 days in a row. Guess what? You just won one trade out of 2 weeks, and your psychology is crap now, looking for that one grand slam. So don't go out striking out all them times when, hey, 50 to 100% consistently is great. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you could let one contract or two contracts run, just move your stop up and let it go, and leave it at that.
Yes. See, because I didn't even know that you can play with options where you can move your strike like that. I didn't even know that was I didn't even know that was possible. But just say, for instance, we at a 520, and I say I want to go to a 530 strike, and I set it out on the money contract. But even if I get to like 515, I'm okay. Like, well, no, hold on. 520 to 530. Let's say I get to 525 or 526 or 27. I might not get the full move, but guess what? I still made money. I'm still in the green.
Yep.
It's not like I'm trying to get that entire move and try to hold it and expect it to get that. So I'm just thinking, like, in the aspect of, you feel like that's a gamble, or like, if my analysis correct, if what I'm looking at, do you feel like that's okay to do? Because I've done it several times, man, and it's like,
I
I ain't
mean,
trying to get the
hey,
whole move.
at the end
I
of
don't
the
want it.
day, if you got a signal right off your plan, I don't think it's gambling if you're moving your stuff to break even, and you where are you going to cut the trade? You get what I'm saying? So if you have a plan in place, I don't think it's gambling if you're using a signal to get into the trade based off our tools. But if you're taking a trade just to take a trade and saying, well, it has to move $5 today, I'm gonna get the grand slam. That's a poor mindset, and that's gambling. You follow
No,
me?
absolutely. No, absolutely not. That is not how I'm playing it. It's just that the way that the market's moving, and it looks like it's gonna go in a direction, like, we can't predict the movement from the market, but from the structure of what it's going in and the price action, it looks like it's possible. Everything's already green. Like I got the scoreboard and everything. Like, you got strong buy, strong sales. So it's like, all right, it's a good possibility. It may get close to my strike, but it may not hit it. But guess what? I'm still up 100, 200% off of it. And it was a cheap contract. I still made money.
Sure.
I just don't know. Like, I just didn't know if that was a good thing to do or not.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I use the AI lotto system for my lotto trades because I back tested it, and I know the probability that I'm going to win 4 out of 5 days. If you have data like that, then hey, it's fine. But if you don't, then to me, I wouldn't trade it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
Well, since when you put the AI lotto in there, now it makes sense what the lotto really means, because now I see what you're saying. You're putting a strike out here that far away. You're still gonna make money even if it goes in your favor.
That's what I'm
If,
saying. So when we
yeah,
take
now it makes
SPX,
sense.
it
Yep,
moves 5, 6, 7 points. We're up 50 to 100%. You know what I mean?
that
And
makes
we're
sense
going
now.
risk free, even though it could go 1,800%, which it does once a week, once every 2 weeks. Hey, at 50, 100%, I'm going risk free, back to break even at least. and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's why I called a lotto.
Now them lottos make sense, man. Now, cause like I say, I was doing it another way on on my own, doing something else. But now that lotto makes sense because you kind of setting that strike price out of the money a little bit, even though you're not expecting to get that entire move. Sometimes you may get it, a lot of times you may not, but you still can come out net profit if you can set a trail and not be greedy and get out of the way if it goes
Yep,
in your face.
absolutely.
Good deal. I appreciate it.
Yep, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate all you guys. You guys do me a favor. You guys got value from tonight's call. You love the clarity, the questions for clarity. Give me a DCG in the box real quick. I do know we went over a little bit. That's all right. But hey, we all good. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, we do live. Look at you guys pouring love in. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Live trading tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You guys are all more than welcome to attend the same Zoom that you guys are on right now. You're more than welcome to hop on. If you guys ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, never hesitate to reach out. And hey, with that being said, you all have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one. Beast mode out. I'll see you guys Tuesday.